Some places in America don't just scare you, they remember you. People disappear, time goes missing, and witnesses swear something followed them home. Watch till the end, because number 1 isn't haunted, it's aware.
Number 10. The Devil's Highway, Route 666, Arizona, New Mexico. They didn't just rename this road for fun. Route 666 earned its reputation the hard way. For decades, drivers traveling this stretch of highway reported crashes that made no sense. Clear weather, dry pavement, experienced drivers, and yet cars flipped, rolled, or slammed into nothing at all. Truckers were the first to talk. They said the road felt wrong at night. Headlights didn't seem to reach as far as they should. The asphalt looked like it stretched forward endlessly, as if the road itself was moving. Some drivers reported seeing figures standing in the road, tall, dark shapes that didn't move. When they swerved to avoid them, there was nothing there. Others described black cars following them for miles. No headlights, no license plates, just a presence. When they pulled over to let the car pass, it vanished. One of the most chilling patterns was how often drivers reported losing time. A 10-minute stretch somehow taking an hour. Gas gauges dropping suddenly, radios turning to static right as drivers felt an intense sense of panic. Locals avoided night travel whenever possible. Some refused to drive it at all. Eventually, the number of accidents became impossible to ignore. So did the stories. The government stepped in, upgraded the road, and quietly renamed it Route 491. No announcement, no explanation, just a new number. Because apparently, even the United States government decided it was safer not to argue with whatever owned that road.
Number 9. The Crying Plantation, Myrtle's Plantation, Louisiana. Some haunted places try to scare you. The Myrtle's Plantation doesn't bother. Built in the late 1700s, this plantation has been surrounded by death, tragedy, and whispered stories for generations. Murders, poisonings, slaves who never left, at least not completely. Guests report seeing a woman in a green dress gliding silently through hallways, children laughing and playing on staircases when no children are staying there, footsteps pacing above empty rooms. But the mirrors are what people remember. Handprints appear overnight, small ones, child-sized. Some guests wake up to fogged mirrors with faces pressed against the glass, like someone was watching them sleep. Photos taken on the property often reveal extra figures, faces in windows, shadows that weren't there when the picture was taken. Staff members don't hype the hauntings. They don't deny them either. They'll simply suggest that some rooms are better avoided after dark, and that's when you realize something important. When a haunted place stops trying to convince you, it doesn't need to. Number 8. The Witches Road, Clinton Road, New Jersey. Clinton Road is only 10 miles. 10 miles. That's it. You could drive it in under 15 minutes without traffic, but almost no one does. Because once you're on Clinton Road at night, it stops feeling like a road. It feels like a tunnel. The trees press in from both sides, thick and tangled, blocking moonlight and swallowing sound. Cell service dies almost instantly. Your headlights don't reach as far as they should, like the darkness is actively pushing back. And that's usually when the first thing happens. Drivers report seeing headlights appear in their rearview mirror, not far behind, right there, bright, close, gaining fast. You speed up. They speed up. Then you pull over expecting a car to blast past you. Nothing passes. The road behind you is empty. No engine sound, no taillights fading into the distance, just silence. Some drivers laugh it off until it happens again. Figures are the next common sighting. Tall shapes standing just inside the tree line, not moving, not waving,
not approaching, just watching. If you look away for even a second, check your speed, your GPS, your mirrors, they're gone. But the feeling they left behind isn't. Mirrors are a problem on Clinton Road. Drivers report reflections that don't match reality, shapes appearing in the back seat when no one is there, faces where your own should be, only for a split second, just long enough to make you doubt yourself. And then there's the bridge. If Clinton Road has a heart, this is it. The bridge crosses a shallow stream, barely noticeable in daylight, but at night, people stop their cars without knowing why. The legend is simple. Throw a coin into the water. It comes back. Some say it lands beside you. Others swear it reappears inside the car. A few claim it returns to the same pocket it came from. Skeptics test it. They throw coins, multiple coins. They watch them disappear into the darkness. Minutes later, they feel something cold in their hand, or hear metal clink on the dashboard, or find their pockets heavier than before. No one has ever explained how, and no one stays long enough to try again, because Clinton Road doesn't just scare people while they're there. It follows them. Drivers report hearing footsteps outside their homes days later, scratches on doors, the feeling of being watched through windows. Some wake up convinced they're still on the road. Others refuse to drive at night ever again. Locals know better. They don't pull over. They don't investigate noises. They don't help strangers, because sometimes the strangers aren't real. And sometimes you don't leave Clinton Road all at once. Sometimes parts of it leave with you, and they take their time deciding when to remind you.
Number 7. The Shadow Prison. Eastern State Penitentiary, Pennsylvania. Eastern State Penitentiary was never meant to be cruel. At least not on paper. When it opened in 1829, it was considered a revolutionary experiment, one that would fix criminals through isolation and reflection. Prisoners were locked alone in stone cells for years. No talking, no eye contact, no sound except their own breathing. The idea was simple. Silence would lead to repentance. Instead, it led to madness. Inmates began hallucinating within weeks. Some spoke to walls. Others clawed at their own skin just to feel something. Guards reported prisoners screaming at night, begging for noise, any noise at all. By the time the prison closed, it was widely acknowledged as a psychological failure. But something else stayed behind. Today, visitors walk through long, decaying cell blocks where sound behaves strangely. Footsteps echo longer than they should. Whispers seem to travel against the wind. Some swear they hear quiet sobbing, soft, exhausted crying that fades when you stop walking. One of the most common experiences happens in cell block 12. People report shadow figures standing just inside open cells. They don't move, they don't approach, they just stand there, as if waiting. When visitors step closer, the figures dissolve into the darkness. Even staff members, people who work there every day, admit certain areas feel watched. And here's the part that unsettles investigators most. The activity isn't random. It's concentrated in the cells where prisoners were held the longest, as if the isolation never ended. Because solitary confinement doesn't stop when the body does. Number 6. The Vanishing Hotel, Cecil Hotel, California. The Cecil Hotel sits quietly in downtown Los Angeles. From the outside, it looks like just another aging building trying to survive a changing city. But inside, history presses in from every wall. For decades, guests checked in and never checked out. Some vanished completely. No luggage, no trail, no explanation. Others were found in circumstances so strange, they're still debated today.
Elevators stopping between floors for no reason, security footage glitching at key moments, water in guest rooms turning dark, foul-smelling, sometimes completely black. Guests report hearing footsteps pacing outside their doors all night, only to open them and find empty hallways. Rooms feel crowded, heavy, like the air itself is occupied. Staff members quietly admit certain floors are avoided whenever possible. And yes, the hotel changed its name, because the Cecil became synonymous with tragedy. But the activity didn't stop, because places don't forget what they were used for, no matter what you call them now.
Number 5. The Possession House. The Conjuring House, Rhode Island. This house doesn't announce itself. There's no dramatic moment when you step inside, no sudden cold rush, no loud bangs, no warning signs that scream, "This place is haunted." And that's exactly why it's dangerous. The house looks ordinary, quiet, almost welcoming. The kind of place you'd expect laughter, not fear. But families who lived here didn't last long, and not because of financial reasons. They left because the house noticed them. At first, the experiences were subtle. Scratches appearing overnight, small bruises on arms and legs with no memory of impact. Children waking up tired, claiming they'd been talking all night. Talking to who? That's when parents started hearing it. Footsteps pacing above them when no one was upstairs. Soft whispering just outside bedroom doors. Not random words. Names. Personal names. Childhood nicknames no stranger could know. Animals reacted first. Dogs refused to enter certain rooms. They would stop at the doorway, growl and back away. Horses panicked violently near the property, bucking and refusing to approach. Chickens stopped laying eggs altogether. Animals don't care about ghost stories. They react to presence. Clocks throughout the house stopped at the same exact time every night. Not broke, not drained, just stopped. Always restarted by morning. Children claimed there were people standing in corners. Not scary people, not threatening ones. Just there, watching, listening. And that's when investigators realized something critical. This house doesn't scare everyone the same way. Some people feel watched, others feel touched, and a few, very few, feel welcomed. Investigators say those are the most dangerous cases, because the house doesn't want fear, it wants engagement. It wants conversation, acknowledgement, response. The more you interact, the stronger it becomes, the more personal it gets. It learns routines, it learns fears, it learns memories. This isn't a haunting that wants attention, it wants permission. And once it has it, it doesn't let go easily. Number 4. The Desert Portal. Bradshaw Ranch, Arizona. The desert is supposed to feel empty. Wide skies, open land, silence. Bradshaw Ranch feels crowded. Visitors describe glowing orbs rising silently from the ground, not falling from the sky, not hovering above, but emerging from the earth itself. Colors shift, blue, white, sometimes orange. No sound, no heat. Then the fear hits, sudden, intense, with no visible cause. People report panic so strong they freeze in place. Others feel watched from every direction at once. Some feel drawn forward, towards areas they can't explain. Time doesn't behave correctly here. A walk that should take 10 minutes lasts an hour. Phones lose charge instantly. Watches stop or display the wrong time. People return to their cars convinced they've been gone minutes, only to find hours have passed. And then there were the portals. Multiple visitors claimed they walked forward and emerged somewhere else entirely.
A few feet traveled, but the landscape changed. Disorientation, nausea, memory gaps. Animals refuse to enter the area. Birds go silent. Insects disappear. The land feels aware. Not alive in a biological sense, but alert, as if it's testing reactions, adjusting, observing. The desert looks empty, but something there is very busy and very interested.
Number 3. The Lost Colony. Roanoke Island, North Carolina. Over 100 settlers vanished. No bodies, no blood, no signs of struggle. Just one word carved into wood: Croatoan. Historians have proposed theories for centuries: assimilation, disease, relocation, conflict, logical explanations that make sense on paper, but the island doesn't feel logical. Visitors describe whispers carried on the wind that don't match the direction of the breeze, shadows moving between trees, too tall, too slow, the constant feeling of being observed by something patient, something that knows you don't belong. Locals say the island remembers that whatever happened here wasn't sudden or chaotic. It was controlled, deliberate, quiet. Nighttime is worse. Sound behaves strangely. Footsteps echo behind you when no one is there. Voices seem to speak from just beyond sight. The woods feel closer, tighter, like they're leaning inward. No signs explain the disappearances. No memorials list the dead, because no one knows where they went. And maybe that's the point. History never solved it, and maybe it wasn't meant to. Number 2. The Screaming Ship. USS Salem, Massachusetts. The USS Salem was built for war. Steel corridors, tight quarters, endless noise. But why does the silence feel so wrong? Visitors report footsteps running along the decks late at night, fast, urgent, like someone fleeing. Voices echo through passageways, sometimes calling names, sometimes calling your name. The medical bay is where most people break. People feel sudden panic, tightness in the chest, nausea, a crushing sense of dread that comes without warning. Some visitors flee the ship mid-tour, shaking and crying without understanding why. Lights turn on by themselves. Doors open and slam shut. Equipment hums briefly, then stops. Ships carry memories, pain, fear, death. And this one never unloaded its cargo. You don't feel alone on the USS Salem, even when you are. Number 1. The Cursed Battlefield. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Gettysburg doesn't need legends. The numbers are enough. Over 50,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing here in just 3 days. Bodies were buried hastily. Some never identified. Some never recovered. The land absorbed it all. Visitors report soldiers marching through fog, full formations, silent, disappearing as the mist clears. Cannon fire with no visible source. The smell of gunpowder drifting through open fields. But the most disturbing experiences aren't visual, they're emotional. People feel sudden waves of grief that don't belong to them. Crushing sadness, fear, rage, panic. Emotions so strong they bring grown adults to their knees. Some faint, some cry uncontrollably. Some leave early and don't know why. Gettysburg isn't haunted in a theatrical way. It doesn't want attention. It wants remembrance, because the land remembers pain, and sometimes it shares it.